Greek salads, pasta, seafoods with wine and beer. Terry's brings years of tasty temptations from DJs in San Bernardino and Alta Loma. Join a new tradition in Redlands. Stop by at 1350 Industrial Park Avenue between Tennessee and Alabama in the Tri-City Center. Google Terry's Diner Redlands on Yelp or find them terrysdinerredlands.com.
KCAA.
The doctor is in. Welcome to the Psychic Love Doctor Show with host Deborah Lee. Deborah has been practicing, teaching, and perfecting the personal prophecy card reading method for 20 plus years. This life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. This inspiring show will help you never feel helpless in life or love ever again. Now, here's your host, Deborah Lee.
Hello, everyone. How was your week? This is Deborah Lee. I am the Psychic Love Doctor, the original. There may be knockoffs, but I am the original. I was discovered actually by AOL. Just for those of you that are popping in for your first time, just give you a little backgrounder here. I was discovered by AOL back in 1996. They found me in their chat rooms where I would go in, start giving readings to people, and they scouted me, literally. So this is where I got the name Psychic Love Doctor. It's from them. It's stuck, and ever since, that's what I've been known as. Now, the reading method I'm using, for those of you that are watching us on the podcast, or you were tuning in on the Psychic Love Doctor show page on Facebook, you'll see that I'm holding up only an ordinary deck of playing cards. Basically, your average poker deck. This is all that is used in this particular method, which my grandmother, who taught me this, called personal prophecy. I have studied all different types of methods of perceiving the future from ordinary playing cards. However, I've never found anything that was anywhere near this particular method, which is extremely dynamic. It's life-changing and can really help us navigate our lives.
Absolutely.
From the present moment into the future. And that who you just heard is my delightful co-host, Lauren.
Hello.
She rides shotgun with me on Fridays. So I'm so glad all of you are here, and I'm glad Lauren is here to join me too.
I'm glad I'm here too. Just let callers know really early, our phone number is 909-792-5222, and you can get your free live reading by calling that number.
Right. Those of you that are on Facebook Live, you can post your question, but you won't get a priority reading unless you actually call. And the lines do fill up early, so do not wait too long. Now, I do have also with me a live audience. It's rather a intimate little group, but they will be offering their thoughts and advice, suggestions, etc., as we go along with the readings. Now, we did set a topic, just in case the readings coming in were a little bit slow.
Yes.
And that topic is how to use sex to your own best advantage in relationships. Now, I don't know if there's any other way to use sex to your own best advantage, unless I guess you're dating yourself. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So let's just stick with the relationship aspect.
Absolutely.
Now, first though, Lauren, tell me, this kind of coincides with our topic.
Yes.
You went away for the Easter holiday.
I did. It was lovely, Deborah. Thank you for asking me about it.
And you went to the how do you say it?
They call it there the Luray Cavern, but it's in northern western Virginia, and it's very pretty. And we went to the caverns, and we went to this exotic rescue zoo that was really cool. It had tons of animals that had been rescued: snakes, tigers, wallabies, all these things.
And that's near what city?
It is near Charlottesville, Virginia.
Really?
Yes.
And you saw some exotic rescued animals.
I did. There were rattlesnakes, there were vipers, cottonmouth snakes, there was a tiger named Star who was a little irritated that day, and she actually growled at us and charged at us.
Did she? Wow.
There was an incident with a monkey named Mr. Blueberries.
Oh, an incident.
There was an incident. He was cute. I said, hello, Mr. Blueberries, right? A little cute monkey, like just a little tiny monkey. He looked like he was wearing a little tan hoodie sweatshirt. And then
What was the incident, Lauren?
Well, we were curious. Why did he call himself Mr. Blueberries? And then we saw why. He did, in fact, have blue berries. Mm-hmm. And it was then that he began pleasuring himself, Deborah, in front of the family.
Oh, my gosh.
My husband was... There was a very unusual, hand to, area, ratio.
You're saying hand to penis ratio.
I am saying that, Deborah, and I received an education that I didn't want to have, and my husband was very upset. He said, Mr. Blueberries, I don't appreciate you doing that in front of my wife. And that was a part of the trip.
Film it and put it on YouTube.
Yes.
There is film somewhere of this.
Of Mr. Blueberry?
There is. I don't know if he signed his release, though, so we'll have to see.
Okay, well, hey, how exciting is that?
But we have, do you want to go into our callers right now before we move into the topic?
Yeah, and we'll just play with the topic as we go along.
All right. We'll play with it. All right. Danielle from Texas, how are you doing, and what can we help you with?
Hi, how are y'all?
Well, hello there, Danielle. How are you? We're doing great. Getting started.
Oh, good. Good to hear. I'm doing good.
And what can we help you with today?
Let's see. I guess just to see what's going on with Isaac. I mean, everything's going okay. We had our normal, I saw him on Tuesday, so we had our normal work lunch date together, and then I went over to his apartment, and everything's going okay.
Does he provide the lunch, or do you bring it?
I bring it to him whenever he's at work.
Ah, okay.
Well, while Deborah's doing the card layout, I'd like to include you in our topic, if I may. How important, not I wouldn't say just sex, but affection in general, how important do you place the value of affection in your relationship, would you say, Danielle?
I would say it's pretty important. It's nice to know, it's nice to, see, physical gestures of affection, like a kiss, a hug, or just, something nice and sweet. I think it's always, good to be included in the relationship and, for the couple to be comfortable with.
And how about the hot sex? Are we getting any hot sex?
Yeah, we always do.
The giggle is a good sign.
Yes, it is. You giggled, therefore it must be very, very good.
So how early, if it's okay with us asking, how early would you say is it okay to introduce that into a relationship for you?
Whenever me and Isaac got first together, it was a long time ago. We've been in each other's lives for about going on 5 or 6 years. And when we first got together, it was 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. All right. Good.
Well, that's a pretty good length of time.
I think that's a good time. Thank you for sharing that with us, Danielle.
Well, and Danielle, it looks to me like, from looking at your cards and studying them, it looks to me that he is still very much enjoying your company. He would like for the two of you to, I guess you could say, party a little more, get out, socialize more. Is that something he suggests?
Well, I actually mentioned that today. He told me he was off today, and I was like, well, let's go do something fun. I was like, let's like go out to eat or like go ride go-karts or like go somewhere fun and then like have a nice dinner or just like go somewhere fun. And he was like, no, it's okay. And I was just like, okay.
Well, part of it, I think, is he'd like to blow a little steam off by having some drinks, maybe seeing some friends with you. He'd like, and we got some guys here in the audience. Let me ask you, is there a point where you would like the gal in your life, your, what do they call them, your
other half?
Your squeeze, I don't know.
Your main squeeze.
Your bae?
Your bae.
Your main squeeze.
Would you like her to go out and kind of, trip the light fantastic with you and have a lot of fun and play pool and dance and...
I'd like to say first, that's the first time I've ever heard Trip the Light Fantastic. I don't know, that's out of nowhere. But
I did
wow, take the ball by the court,
you had an argument.
coins and all that.
Yes, Danielle?
Oh, I was going to tell you that we had an argument this week because, like, I was annoyed that he was, like, on his phone. And I was looking at him, like, while he was, like, texting or whatever. But I really couldn't see. And, like, he got all mad. And I was like, you wouldn't be getting mad if you were hiding something.
Well, I am seeing some anger here. But it does not appear directed at any particular thing that you've done.
Okay.
Basically, I do feel, though, he'd like to break out a little bit and do things that the two of you maybe don't do so much. Go out, mix and mingle with some of your friends. Because I do feel that he's starting to feel a little stale. Stagnant.
Yeah.
Very good word. And you certainly don't want a guy to feel like he's married before you've actually put a ring on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then yesterday I had put some, like, smelly lotion on, but it was new. Like, it wasn't a new smelly lotion. And when I went to his house, he was like, that smells like guy's cologne. I was like,
geez,
no.
Louise.
Oh, boy. Well, sounds to me like maybe the two of you need to have the beautiful little romantic interlude.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm hearing that from the audience here. What do you think? They should get together and...
A what? I'm sorry.
Have like a getaway or
Maybe
something.
yes, maybe a go-to where they, I don't know.
a nice sexy weekend away from everything.
Yeah.
Go to the Luray Mountains.
He
Spice
needs,
things up with Mr. Blueberry.
and he needs, Danielle, for you to kind of really become very spontaneous,
Right.
very
Maybe
sensual.
plan a whole trip. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and
What?
plan a whole trip.
Oh, I thought I heard something edible.
I just think you need to really kind of mix it up.
Yeah.
Isaac is feeling a little stagnant. The relationship, you guys are kind of doing the same things. Boy, you could knock his socks off with a nice, romantic, sexy weekend. I can just hear everybody out there nodding, saying, mm-hmm. There you go, girl. Well, we do have others waiting, honey. But all in all,
Okay,
things are very
thank
good.
you. I always appreciate y'all's advice. Y'all have a good weekend.
Yes,
Thank
you
you,
too.
Danielle. Hear from you next
bye.
week.
She could have a tickle party with him.
All right.
Those turn into some very erotic moments.
It could.
Not speaking from my own experience, but I'm saying that if you started off with a tickle and it moves into wrestling, you have started working up them juices.
I don't know. Sometimes the tickling goes too far.
Into what, spanking?
No, like...
That makes somebody go,
Sometimes it goes into spanking, but sometimes, like, the tickling's just too much. I can't breathe. I get angry. The mood has been ruined.
Yeah, I wet myself. It ruined everything.
No, you definitely do not want to be wetting yourself. So I think with that, we should move to our next
Our
caller.
next caller is Mark from California. How are you doing, Mark? What can we help you with?
Hi,
Mark, are you there?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
We do.
We do.
Well, Deborah Lee, okay, this might sound strange, but sort of like to find out if I'm to retire or take a medical leave for my job.
Okay.
Okay. How are you doing, Mark?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
medical leave. Are you dealing with some health issues?
I'm sorry, hon. You sort of staticky.
Are you dealing with some health issues, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay. But otherwise, have things been good?
Yeah, I've been by myself for a while, and hopefully, Deborah Lee was saying somewhere around maybe July or something, I'll meet my future spouse.
Yay!
Yeah.
It will not surprise me in the least to hear the good news. And I love saying those words.
Yes.
Told you so.
That's awesome. Now, talking about our topic, what do you feel about intimacy in a relationship? How soon should you introduce the intimacy, as it were, in a relationship, or have you in the past?
Well, it all depends on each individual, because, if you got chemistry, no holds bar.
You're right.
You're talking to somebody that hasn't been physically intimate with anybody for 11 years. And so I've had a lot of, how would you say, meditation time or, quiet time to think things out and, figure out what's the priorities in life.
Definitely.
And Mark, it sounds like you are going to be so ripe for picking. So ready for the right one. He's been, what should we say, non-dating, single status for 11 years.
Yes.
Just think of all the bad relationships, the cheating, the lying, the this and the that you have avoided by,
absolutely.
Go ahead.
My last relationship lasted over 20 years.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Okay,
And,
so what I want to share with you in the cards is, yes, you are right on the brink of a love of your life, the one that's going to carry you through the rest of your life. It is so close. Now, you asked if you should retire or take a medical leave. Did you say medical leave?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I might have to...
They are saying that you can't lose either way, to tell you the truth. There is going to be another career opportunity for you. I think it looks like something that you've always wanted to do, but never had the time or the energy to explore what I feel is a true talent that you possess. And I see you, I'm going to go long on this and say it'll be within 3 years, but I could actually see this happening a lot sooner for you. And it appears to be something that you could work at as a professional from home, from a business, from on the road. It's highly versatile. Is this ringing any kind of bell with you?
Well, I've always wanted to be a pilot, and even looked at rotorcraft and as far as helicopter and deliveries and such in emergency situations.
There you go. Well, I do feel you are finally going to be able to do what is truly a passion for you. Let's put it this way. You will not leave this mortal plane without having done the one thing that really trips your trigger. And you won't be doing it alone. I definitely feel like, for instance, he could go on medical leave or he could retire. Either way, I'm perceiving he could land very nicely on his feet.
And there's a quote I'm reminded of. It says, any choice would have been the right one. Whatever path you're on, you seem like a really level-headed guy, and I feel like you sound like the kind of person who could probably make any situation work.
Right. I love that. Because, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah.
Hello.
Deborah Lee, let me try this. Have you got to a point where you're done with your grieving?
Working on it, getting there.
Okay. Sort of a message. Hon, I realize that the grieving process is very exhausting. And I've had some help bringing you a new energy.
Yes.
And I love you, Little Spoon.
I'm sorry?
What?
We all love Deborah Lee. What did you say, hon? We couldn't hear the last part.
It says the message is "I love you, little spoon."
I love you.
Now,
You
however,
received the message.
However that relates to you, Deborah Lee, I don't know, but it's just something that's been...
Well, you seem like quite a messenger for me, Mark. I think maybe you have also a very strong gift of mediumship and receiving messages from, the beyond, the great beyond. So I love that. Thank you very much.
Aww.
It kind of really tickled me and made me feel good, and thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So you hang in there, hon. What was that saying again, Lauren?
Any choice would have been the right choice. I think a lot of times in life we dwell on, are we making the right decisions? There are literally so many decisions, and I don't know if you see this a lot in the cards, but we are always very anxious about what should we do,
Right.
And a lot of times it's how we need to control how we react to the choices that are being made,
Exactly.
not the choices themselves.
I think that you just said something very profound. I think that will have a lot of meaning for Mark. And Mark, you get that helicoptering or plane service going. Come and get us. We'll go for a ride, right, Lauren?
Oh, yes, exactly.
We would love that.
And we're so happy. I don't know if you've called in on recently, but I like
last Friday.
Last Friday. Well, I'm so happy to hear from you.
Or was it 2 Fridays ago?
I think it was
Two Fridays.
Two Fridays
We're
ago,
out
so
there.
I missed you. So I'm happy to hear from you again, Mark.
Yes, thank you
so
so
much.
much. And Mark, love you right back. I don't know if you're a big spoon or a ladle or what you might be, but love you right back. And we have to pause right now for station ID. We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292FQ Riverside, and K293CF Moreno Valley.
Got a message from...
Hello, we are back. This is the Psychic Love Doctor Show. I'm Deborah Lee. If you're just joining us, this is my awesome little co-host, Lauren. You never know what she's going to pop off with. So we are taking calls. She's going to give you the number. Now, use your best voice, Lauren.
Oh, my best voice? Okay. That number is 909-792-5222. We'd love to hear from you.
Almost sounds like a 900 number, doesn't it?
That would be so much fun.
Okay.
Can I do that? Is that can you get me in that career? I would do that. Wouldn't that be hysterical?
Oh, my goodness.
Totally do it. Give me that money.
Why aren't you doing it?
Yeah, why don't you just start one up?
I guess since they're using sex to their advantage, too.
Yes, look at that.
I would use...
All I gotta do is talk.
I would, and I feel like you can make anything sound like attractive, so I'd just be like hanging out in the house, and he'd be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, I'm watching the TV and hanging out with the dog.
And they always want to know what you're wearing.
And
hanging out with the pussy. I mean,
I'm paying $6 a minute. I don't want to hear about you hanging out with a damn dog.
I'm wearing...
You better get more spicy.
I'm petting.
Yeah, Veronica says she's petting her pussy cat.
I'm wearing a large, oversized hoodie with nothing.
Nothing underneath it.
So, moving back onto our topic, Deborah.
Yes, and I want to tell you, I believe that when it comes to how to use sex to your own best advantage, first of all, realize that it is an amazing gift between two people. And if you're out there on the street corner giving it away right and left, it pretty soon turns out to be, what can we call this? Something that you got from, think of a high-end store.
From, like...
Juicy Couture.
Target.
And suddenly it's turned into something off the shelves in Target, right?
Oh,
but you want it to be Juicy Couture with a high price tag and very, very juicy.
Juice.
Right?
I like Target. You can find everything real easily.
All right. And we do have an actual punchline to all of this, but we wanted to get some feedback.
We do.
And so far it looks like people are waiting from the callers we've received. So how does that help Tinder? Isn't that the place where you go looking for what did you guys say? DTF?
Yeah.
Partner? Yeah, DTF. I'm learning all these new abbreviations and acronyms.
Yes. Well,
DTF.
I think times have kind of changed a little bit from like when you were younger and you always had like maybe a chaperone with you on dates and things. And I grew up from like the American Pie generation and people watching like Cruel Intentions, where it was very like teens are out there like making out all the time and doing things. So I don't know, was it different for you? Like were there expectations?
You mean back in the covered wagon days and
no, Deborah.
when you sat on the veranda and sipped lemonade?
I think you. I feel like there's a lot of sauciness on this end. I feel like you got your head massage tricks and everything else. So what would you do? Okay, so what would you do?
I went to a Catholic school.
Me too.
Did you? So we have all that repressed sexuality.
Not so repressed.
They said back then, they were all the boys said, "Oh, you've got to get yourself one of those Catholic girls. They will whip off those plaid skirts," and and it was, to me, it was such a myth.
It wasn't such a myth some places.
Oh.
There were lots of skirts a-flying. There was quite the escapades going on, but...
all right, but there are a number of decades between you and me.
There are.
And back then, you did not want to develop a name for yourself. Even to this day, on Facebook, if I see some girl that was easy and cheap, what do you call it, slutty, back from high school, I remember that.
You're like, Susan, you cheap...
Susie Floozy, I know Susie Floozy. There's a bunch of them.
I bet you do, Chef Kyle on call.
Yeah, somebody has a question that everybody should probably listen to. Somebody wants to know, what if I need guidance on something strongly tied to love, but not a child, but it's a child, not a male-female relationship. So I think I think the psychic love doctor is sometimes throwing people off.
Oh yeah, we can answer. Well, I can't answer anything.
That's what they want to know.
Deborah can answer questions about anything,
Oh, yes, career, family, children.
Right, that's what they're
friends,
asking.
co-workers, neighbors.
It doesn't have to be a love connection.
And the thing is,
right, that's what they're asking.
Right, if you look at the word psychic love doctor, the word psychic means to know. The word love is, love is the strongest, most healing, most dynamic energy in the entire universe. And the word doctor means, this was a shock to me way back when, it means to teach.
There we go.
So it's to know and to love and to teach.
I love it.
To cherish and to teach.
I love
Very
it.
good.
I thought that was a very good question.
That is a good question. So yes, she is a jack of all trades in the prophetic reading. She can answer your questions about everything.
And I've been asked a lot of really unbelievably bizarre things. I mean, I've done readings on animals, both living and those that have passed away. I've done a reading on a penis.
Reading on a
penis? A woman was dating him.
This is the first time that we've ever heard of
Oh, I thought you all heard this.
Everyone on Facebook Live is like, what?
There was
makes sense.
There was a woman who came to me in my office in Virginia Beach. She had not been sexually active, nor had she dated, for at least 10 years. And she had met a guy, and they were starting to get very involved. And their first sexual, their attempted intimacy did not go well. A lot of people out there don't know that if a woman does not use her anatomy, we'll call it that, things start to atrophy. And it gets littler and littler, and pretty soon it's like even saying open sesame isn't going to work.
Female shrinkage.
Exactly. And she had a real problem, and she came to me and she said, could you do the cards and tell me if it's ever going to, her word was fit. And I said, well, yes, I can, but I should also give you some tips as a life coach on what to do. Well, anyway, I laid out the cards, and I saw that he was going to be very patient with her, but she needed to get her act together, too, because he wasn't going to keep knocking on that door forever, okay? So I told her, go down to the local skin shop. What do you call them? Stores where they...
Love shacks.
Yeah. Go down there, or go to Amazon. You can get a whole bunch of sexual toys
Yeah, get your dildos in 2 days.
And
Amazon.
free shipping.
Delivery.
Free shipping in 2 days.
On delivery.
And
Make
get-
sure it's a prime dildo.
Get a graduated set and work with it and include him.
Right.
And she did. And pretty soon that story had a very happy ending.
I bet it did.
So there you go. See, but the cards will respond to any question that's put in front of them.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's nice. But they tell you the same thing about the graduated thing when you're doing the back door, too.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, okay.
It does
You don't need
relate.
to know about this right now.
You
Steph
can
Brown.
use the toys in a number of ways, apparently.
Can't just start off with the maximum setting.
Right, beat eggs with them, too, actually.
There you go, you got that.
You can.
Julie
Just
would
so
use it to beat out some dough.
I'm going to
Yeah,
read that
beat
number
decorator,
again.
too.
That number is 909-792-5222. We need some callers because this is getting
Are you
very
collarless?
heated over here. We're
You are
collarless at the
collarless.
moment.
We are.
It's
I did not
very
know that.
sad.
You should
But-
give some indication.
Oh, do you have some folks that were talking
No, but
to
we could
Jim, the camera
stern
guy?
some questions if we'd known you were seeking them.
Oh.
And Veronica, I do believe you came with a nice little basket of questions.
I
Now
didn't
is that
come
time?
already. Not yet.
Fail. Epic fail.
Lord have mercy.
I don't have any questions.
No questions. Well,
What purpose do you serve?
I think one of the benefits of having the intimacy in the relationship is the bonding that happens between the couple. So what do you think about people? Like, isn't it necessary to kind of create a stronger bond between
It
two
is,
partners?
but if you have been very adventurous and very amorous during the whole dating and courtship, you got to make sure you maintain that after you've gotten hitched or you both move in. The number one complaint I hear in my practice as a psychic love doctor is from men, she stopped being that hot little number that she was before we got married. And from her, he doesn't try to please me anymore. It's all wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Sometimes they don't even say thank you.
That's right,
No.
they don't. So the thing is, you got to keep it hot and fresh. And think of new ways.
Okay.
I go out to dinner in a cute little dress and say, oh, honey, I forgot to put my panties on.
Oh
Do you
my.
know that could end up being the fastest dinner in history?
It could.
Or it could be a visit to the car, the restaurant.
It could.
If you're on an airplane, I mean...
Could
as
get
I
a
know-
little chilly.
One of my favorite things I used to do when relationships got stale was we pretend to be different people.
Oh, yes. Come on.
So I'd walk up to her at the bar. Wait, excuse me, miss.
Role-playing.
Role playing. that's it.
Exactly.
Role playing in public. That's fun.
And you know, the thing is, if you really don't feel like putting the energy into all of this, best not get into a long-term relationship.
True.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people force themselves to get in a long-term relationship that are supposed to be short-term.
Well, and they have different reasons.
Mhm.
They don't want to be alone.
No.
They can't survive without someone else's paycheck. Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of reasons.
Wow.
They have no identity without some, guy on their arm or a woman. Goes both, that eye candy thing goes both ways.
Mhm.
But realistically, it's not fair to drag somebody else into your, dull life if you're not going to keep that sparkle going.
I always keep the sparkle going.
Yes, we
It's
know.
gonna be, we have a caller, Elena from North Carolina. How are you doing, Elena? And how can we help you this evening?
I'm good, thank you. Well, so many questions
Yes.
going around, but I will think of one, and I am starting this new job. It's a work from home thing, and there's a lot of items that I need, and I just want to know, is this going to be a good position for me that I could quit my regular full-time job, or would I need something extra?
That is an excellent question. And speaking about those work from home jobs, now there are so many legitimate ways to not only earn a paycheck from home, but there's benefits, there's vacation, there's overtime. I mean, one of my sons, he actually went through college answering the phone in his bedroom, sitting there in his undershorts, answering the phone for Microsoft, and would help people with their, what was the name of that game system? Xbox. And he made $16 an hour plus benefits.
That's
doing
awesome.
that. Mm-hmm.
A lot of these companies, like, I don't know, like the selling companies like Sensi or anything where you're having to sell, like, have an item in, like, stock or whatever, I say there's a time and place to work up to
that
quitting your regular job, but definitely a goal, because I do that same thing as well.
You're very entrepreneurial yourself, Veronica. Some people just can't handle having a boss and a regular structure of going to work, and they do fantastic, but you do have to jockey a little bit.
Yeah,
it does take a lot.
You have to hustle, and pretty much the difference is, like, you can be an entrepreneur and actually physically work less, but you're working all the time. Does that make sense? So you have to be prepared for that. What do you see in the cards?
For you, hon, what I see is that it's going to be slow going for you in the beginning. I would, since you've asked for my advice, I would advise not completely quitting that day job, okay, and just sort of moonlight with the other one till it really, takes off. No, if this is going to turn into something that's very lucrative for you, well, then you'll cross that bridge when you get there. You'll know when the time comes. All right? So I hope that answers you. Down the road, though, I do feel that she is going to, I'm not sure that it's this exact work from home opportunity, but there's another one coming for you, Elena. And you are going to love it, and it's going to be like a door that just magically opens for her, and she is going to do fantastic.
Thank you, Elena.
Okay, thank you for calling, and I hope you call us again.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Yes, you too. We'll watch for you on future shows.
Okay, and then moving right along, we have Jill from Canada.
Hi, Jill.
Hi. All I want to do, I don't want a reading. I just want to say thank you to you ladies.
Oh. What have we done?
You said something to me last time I was going through a rough period. I'm on the road to recovery, and I'm doing a lot better. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Bless you. We are so happy to hear that. That makes me feel so good. It's like it, makes our whole month.
But I'm telling you now, I'm on the road to at least mending.
Wonderful.
Well, so am I, Jill. So we're kind of in the same boat. I lost a husband of nearly 20 years, and we had the most amazing relationship. And losing him to cancer, that evil, evil demon that's out there, really has been tough. But all we can do is take little baby steps.
Absolutely.
And anytime we feel that we've taken a step backward, that is always a sign of progress. Because you can't go backward if you haven't gone forward.
True.
So, Jill, thank you. Are you sure you don't?
You did say to me at one point that my life was all messed up. It was. I've been on a road of like almost 5 months of recovery. I know what? This is the best it's ever been. There is nobody in my life, but you know what? I don't need nobody. I have my kids, and that's it.
Get a reading.
You sure you don't want a reading, Jill?
You know what? If you can give me one, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Hey, let's do it. What would be on your mind as far as your question?
On my mind, if I can get to a better spot just in life itself.
Like financially or security-wise?
Emotionally?
It doesn't matter anymore, because all I do, if I worry, it will put me back to where I don't need to be. I've already been.
Boy, I need to work on that lesson. I wake up in the middle of the night and start worrying, and then I have to kind of slap myself and say, what are you doing?
Yes.
This isn't going to solve anything.
Yeah, and it's hard. I think it's hard not to have anxiety. I think today we have so many anxieties, so many pressures for everything. I think everybody probably suffers. I think about it. I'm like, I wish we had like a simple life where I was like on a farm. I eat my like carrots on my property or whatever. But we all have lots of worries and concerns. So I think you're doing a great job by
Let's
trying
simplify.
Yeah, simple.
Simplify keep
everything.
it simple and live in the moment. Those to me are the two biggest ways that we can actually help ourselves. And I realize in some ways I'm the fool stuck in the revolving door, but here I am giving out all these, wise words, but I let the cards speak for me. And I want to tell you, when you all call in, when you get a reading, I am manifesting with you. These cards, even though in my book I stress, they're just pieces of plastic, blah, blah, blah. The truth is I do feel they contain an energy that enables us to see the good that's on our path and to make that our reality.
Absolutely.
So for you, Jill, I've got to say, things are going to continue on a nice, steady path of growth and recovery. And I want you to really take care of yourself.
I didn't have a choice. It's life or death. So basically,
it is. It is. Now,
I had to choose, and they didn't have a choice. I'm perceiving here
a setback that could come so suddenly that you might think, oh, this whole house of cards of recovery you've built is crashing. But don't do that. It's just in the moment of hearing news that I don't think belongs to you, but you're going to hear of it. Okay? And the fact is, don't let it ruin what you have built. Often we are tested. I think that the higher power often loves to run a little test right by us to see just how, and it's all about faith and hope and strength. So you hang in there. You are right front and center in your whole layout where it is under the designation, what will surprise you? And what you've got, my dear, is a yellow brick road right in front of you. Don't worry about that lion. Don't worry about that goblin or those witches.
The scarecrow.
Yeah.
All them.
Yeah, just laugh it off because you are on the road to serious love, health, happiness, and definitely peace. Peace. That's
Wonderful,
a big one.
Jill.
Yeah, I know, and it's all to you ladies that I've got there.
Well,
Aww.
Thank you for being here, and if it wasn't for all of you, we wouldn't be here.
That's right. Absolutely. Thank you so much for calling.
Blessings to you, hon. Take care. Love that.
Yes, that's wonderful.
Okay.
Next up, we have Amanda from Cali. How are you doing, Amanda?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are fabulous.
I think we're kind of on fire tonight.
We are. So
well, I'm a new fan, and I couldn't help but try and attempt to make a call in today.
Oh, well, thank you. We love newbies here. Yes, the minute you come in, you're suddenly like family, regular folks, and we will look for you in the future. So tell us, what can we do for you?
Well, I'm in a committed relationship now for the last couple of years, and we recently moved into each other about a year ago. And head over heels. I just wanted to know where you might see that relationship going.
Oh, it sounds very nice, doesn't it?
It does sound lovely.
You know, she was talking about all of it. I honestly envisioned a whole bunch of blooming roses, like around them, like just all different colors, just blooming. So I don't doubt the cards are going to reflect that. So give me a moment, and those of you that might be interested, I am using a full layout, 24 cards for your questions. I'm not just pulling out 1 or 3 cards just to give you a quickie answer.
You're getting the full enchilada.
That's right. The full is it the big enchilada or full?
The big enchilada.
It's the full Monty and big enchilada. There it is.
Okay. Oh, I like a full enchilada. You know.
I had a feeling you would say that. All right, now I'm going to look at the cards.
They like to shock me. No.
Call in some more and you'll find out how fun we are.
So, Amanda, I'd like to ask you, since this relationship is prospering so well, how soon do you think that you should introduce intimacy into the relationship?
True, that's a good one.
Our intimacy is fabulous. There is no complaints there. We're very open and communicate with each other. So that's a big spark in the relationship.
How soon, if you don't mind sharing, would you say that you introduce like the sex into the relationship, or would you, if you mind, if not, it's okay?
Yeah, no, it was in the first couple of months.
The first couple of months, okay.
Yeah, seems like the sturdy, real, genuine relationships aren't going to be this, hop in the flash in the pan. Love that.
Or is it not the other way around, that the chemistry's so right that it is a flash?
Well, but
it's not a temporary one.
It's so impassioned that I think sometimes you just can't help it. You go with it. So, but I think with the longer you wait, the more the mystery develops.
Builds up.
It does.
Volcano.
Play little fun games with feathers and things. Okay. All right, let's get back on track for Amanda. I've got to ask you, in this relationship, have the two of you had a really big argument?
There may have been one or two in the years, but yes.
Okay, I want to tell you that what I'm perceiving from your cards is when the two of you really get into a disagreement, this is honestly what I want to make sure I say this right. This is where the strength becomes so visible, where couples that come to me and say, we are so special, we've never had one single argument. And I think, oh my gosh, how scary you people are. Right. You have no idea if what you share has any strength at all. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Absolutely.
So I'm going to see that I do feel that there are some other disagreements coming up. And through that, the making, not just that sex making up stuff, but how the process of moving forward, of meeting of minds, give and take, okay? There's a lot of compromise. Push and pull. And through all of that, this relationship is going to get so doggone strong that I don't feel anything could ever break the two of you apart.
That's funny, because our last argument was a discussion on how to get through it and how to communicate better.
Ooh, there it is. And as long as your partner is willing, boy, that's a big one right there. How many of these guys or gals say, "Oh, I can't deal with this. I'm going to go for a long ride, or I'm going to go to the bar," or they exit. But go ahead, Lorna.
Well, I was going to say probably one of the things I value most in my relationship is that when we do have disagreements or arguments, it's not just like, oh, this is it, I'm going to stay in my ways. I really notice that whatever it is that we're arguing about, we both kind of work towards it. We're like, okay, well, I'm going to try to work on this, and he works on that. We won't say it all the time, but you can definitely see if it's an argument about, not helping out enough or something like that. I definitely see him start to, pick up clothes more, or, he'll go make me coffee.
And
or
sometimes
like
it's just in the way you say it.
Yeah.
Oh,
we have some doozies.
Well, I'll tell you, Amanda, you have a really awesome, good-looking relationship. And you have a lot of faith, there's a lot of honesty that exchanges between the two of you. That's huge. So I wish I could go on, but we have some others waiting. And I hope you call us again, Amanda. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you. You guys have a good evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. And we have Ron Bear from Ohio.
Wait, there's Lynn. Oh, we
just spoke with Lynn, and now we've got Ron Bear.
I thought we were talking to Amanda.
We had Amanda from Cali, and then we had Lynn from Cali.
You sure?
No.
I know nothing.
Lynn. Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault. We have Lynn from California.
Need some glasses, Lord.
Probably.
All right, Lynn, we're with you. What can we do for you?
Hi. I want to know what's going on. It's like my whole life is tipsy-turvy.
Okay.
Where I live, my work, everything.
Do you feel like it's always been this way? Or is this something new?
Well, it's kind of always something, and it's not even my something. It's other people's something.
Right.
Well, and that affects you, is what I hear you telling me, right?
Pardon me?
That the other people, something affects you.
Oh, great deal.
Okay, well, I've already gotten a word of knowledge intuitively about you, but I know the cards are going to explain this better than I can just right off the top of my head. Well, here it is for you, and I hope that this is a word of clarity and enlightenment for you. What it is, my dear, is that you are extremely empathic, and you pick up on the vibes, the emotions, all that energy of others, and need to learn how to set boundaries for yourself, because you have all this incoming, information. I'm trying to think of what it would be the equivalent of. Like imagine a satellite dish that it's getting all this information coming in, and it's like if that was in your head or in your body, you'd be like, stop.
Yes.
So there are a lot of really good websites or books to read up on how to control being an empath. And this is actually a gift you have. I don't know if you're even aware of it, but I feel that you've reached the time in your life now that this gift is going to make itself more known to you, and this could become a very, give me the word, something that
like
she
a
could,
career-wise?
yeah,
Really?
something that she can share with others on her own terms, and it could actually become very lucrative if you've been looking for another way to make a living.
Is that why people treat me badly and smile in my face like they didn't?
Because you're onto them.
Right.
And it's a psychic level. And you see those red flags, you see the dishonesty, you see the fakeness. Okay?
Okay.
So it's an amazing gift, but you have to learn how to control it. All
And
right.
how to use it.
Gosh, I wish I had more time. Would you please try and maybe call us next Friday? We are so short, and I really want to get our last person in on the list.
Okay.
All right, honey, you call us back.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
What she has is immense.
So
Okay,
next
let's
up
go.
we have Ron Bear from Ohio. Ron, how can we help you?
Hello.
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 Ron?
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Are you a good bear or a bad bear?
I'll let you decide.
Okay, we only have a couple
I'm
minutes.
a
honey. We
lovable
gotta
bear.
roll.
I'm
So
a
tell
lovable
us.
bear.
What's he saying? Is he on speaker, I wonder?
Turn down the radio or the phone.
Yeah, no speakerphone, and if you're listening to the radio, it needs to be turned down.
How can we help you, hon?
I was just I haven't talked to you for a couple of years, and the last time I talked to you, quiet dog.
Yes.
Before I had it's been almost 2 years. I've had a triple bypass and everything, and it's right before that he's telling me that something was wrong. I better have it checked out. And I just appreciate you.
Oh my gosh.
2 years ago.
I'm glad I told you. Thank you for letting me know. What can I do for you now, Ron Bear?
Well, I'm just wondering what my status is. How am I doing? I'm doing great as far as physical. Doctors don't want to see me till next year, and
that's
it's going
awesome.
pretty good for me. It's
Yeah,
going
that's
pretty good
great.
for me there. And I just want to. I'm still with the same girl there. I just want to know
girl.
if we're going to be together.
You've got a brand new lease on life, my darling. You are one of the few that really have been given a second chance, so you don't waste that now. I want you to make sure you do everything that you've ever wanted to do. Fill up that bucket list. You have a long life yet ahead of you, and thank God you went and got yourself checked out. You know, you weren't going to survive otherwise. But oh my goodness, your future is so bright. I need sunglasses. I know that's old, but
I like it. It works.
Honey, we're out of time. Call us again. Everybody, thank you so much for tonight. Don't you love this, Lauren?
I love it.
Oh, without all of you, we would have no show. Now, as we get ready to put out the lights and run out the door, just want you to know we love you guys. So bye-bye now. Mwah.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM.